In the audiovisual department of a large corporation, film director Helen Moore is about to feed back an opinion to 3 of her fellow workers: an artist, a scriptwriter, and a film editor. However, the ways in which these men handle personal remarks about the work they've done has little to do with their occupations. They could just as well be salesmen, teachers, students, or whatever. Their response to others and their effect upon others is a matter of individual attitudes or personal styles.
Color was off in that middle segment.
Oh, that's just in the work print.
Still a distraction, though.
No, it's more than that. For some reason, the animated sequences just don't work the way they're supposed to. The live action part of the film, I think, is fine.
Naturally. You directed it.
Touché. Nevertheless, right now, this part is a can of worms.
They wanted it in a hurry.
They still do, which means we have to reach a solution.
I don't think it's that bad.
Well, the point is, it isn't good. It's not acceptable. I think there are too many words. And somehow, the animation telegraphs the surprises ahead of time. The editing seems slow. It lingers on points we've already made obvious.
Then you do know what the problems are.
What are the solutions? That's what I'm going to have to tell Bill Harrod. After lunch, let's get together again. Let's accept the fact that we goofed and start from there.
We. When somebody makes a mistake, they always say we.
Maybe you should have tried the collage technique we talked about, man.
No use. I know these people. They want standard cartoon artwork.
Hey, but we're the artists. It's up to us to push them a little.
Then if they don't like it, I just wind up having to do it over. I've learned. Just give them what they ask for. Saves a lot of headaches.
There's nothing wrong with the script.
Are they blaming you?
The writer always gets the blame. The director or the artist or the editor make a mistake, they always say there's something wrong with the script. It just burns me up. They're so commercial-minded. You know, I can write scenes that a person from the theater, it'd just blow his mind. But I have to work with this woman director who's never directed anything but business films. Not a single one of them understand real gut writing. And they've got the nerve to question what I do. Well, I'm not going to take it lying down.
Why do I feel responsible? Because I ignored my own instincts. I had a feeling while I was cutting the sequence that it wasn't quite right. I shouldn't have cut it exactly to the script. I should have exercised more editing imagination. I have to learn to trust my best judgment. Well, maybe I've learned from this experience.
Bill, does the sales division still need that film by the 23rd?
Trouble?
The animation segments don't quite work. But it may be just a matter of timing and rearranging.
You're the director. You'll have to make it work. Need my help?
Not yet. I have the artist, writer, and editor working on it.
Okay. Keep me posted. I'd like to know what's being done.
Okay.
Helen? Helen? I just wanted to say I agree with you on this. And anything you want changed, you can count on me to cooperate.
Okay. But the question is, what do you think needs doing at this point?
Whatever you suggest. I can make any changes in the artwork you want. I respect your judgment.
Well, we don't have time to redo all the artwork, so that's out of the question. The point is, what do we do with what we have? Excuse me a minute.
You know, I showed everybody the roughs on this before we started.
I know, but...
This is the way I was told to do it.
I agree. Nobody's blaming you, but now...
Well, whatever you say. I mean, if you want me to start over, I'll start over. If you want me to redo one segment, I'll do that. You know me. I'm for the good of the project.
I understand that, but you see, I'm not an artist. What I need from you is some suggestions.
Listen, I've been thinking about that comment you made this morning about how the animation telegraphs the surprises.
Yeah?
But frankly, I thought the animation was in the same spirit as the live part of the film.
Well, let me take you in here. Well, let me ask you something. This business of the arrows pointing to each item...
I can take out the arrows.
Well, but should we? Was this on purpose for them?
You want the arrows out? They go out. I think that's a very good suggestion. I think you've hit the nail on the head. I think you've solved the problem.
If it were only that simple.
It's simple. We have a no-talent artist, and you have a young beginning editor who doesn't know how to cut a film.
Don't you think it is a little wordy?
Wordy? Wordy? I was expecting that. Do you know how long I've been writing scripts?
That's not the point.
You see that award? You think I won that award for being wordy?
Several people worked on that film, as I recall.
Oh, sure. Why, the script had nothing to do with it at all. It was the beautiful direction and photography.
Look, that doesn't solve our problems with this film.
Look, a writer is not a magician, you know? I mean, I just can't sit here and play my magic keyboard and make up for lousy editing and poor artwork.
Look, Mr. Ernest Hemingway.
Will you please
I
get out?
just about had it with this...
Will you get out?
Oh, David...
What's going on in there?
They're having what they call a script conference.
Hope they got it worked on.
You wouldn't happen to have any aspirin, would you?
The kind of headaches you get in editing, aspirin doesn't help.
How's it coming? Any ideas?
Well, I've been thinking about it.
That's something.
I don't know if re-editing will solve all the problems.
I wouldn't expect it to.
May I show you something?
Sure.
Watch this. This is chancy, but I took out that long-winded part about how marvelous our engineers are. You see, it cuts directly from the buyer purchasing it to how well it works on the job.
It does seem to move along better. But the engineering is our strong point. I like this. But what if you shorten the engineering part and cut it in ahead of the buyer making the purchase?
I still think it'd be dull. But I'll try it. We can look at it that way.
I'd appreciate it. If you turn out to be right, I'll have a good argument for eliminating the engineering part. Well,
we're a long way from having it licked.
at least you're giving your attention to the problem. I thank you for that. What puzzles me is why I seem to be dealing with 3 different problems.
Let's re-examine what happened. After viewing the film, she first made a general comment.
The animated sequences just don't work the way they're supposed to.
She then gave more specific comments, telling the writer he used too many words. The artist that his artwork failed to surprise, and telling the editor that he over-lingered on obvious points. She assumed that each man would accept his criticism impersonally, and that all 3 would proceed in the same spirit of cooperation.
Let's accept the fact that we goofed and start from there.
But in fact, each man processed the information differently, according to his personal style. And to 3 different criticisms, they gave 3 different responses.
But now we have...
Whatever you say.
Do you know how long I've been writing scripts?
I've been thinking about it.
The style which each man utilized influenced the responses of the director. In addition, it may have a distinct impact on their future relationships.
Still here? The problem must really be a Lulu.
It's not the problem, it's the people problem.
Writer problems. I overheard some of the argument.
I just can't work with him. Oh, he's so antagonistic. He makes me feel violent. And that artist, he's so determined to please. I can't lean on him at all. I just feel sorry for him.
Helen, everywhere you have to work with people.
I know. Some of them sure make it harder than necessary.
Look, there are plenty of freelance artists and writers available. If it turns out we really can't get along with those 2, we can soon get along without them.
You know who may help me pull this together? It's our young editor. Well, he listens. He tries things.
He wants a try at film directing. Think he could learn to hack it?
All I know is the impression he gives me, which is that he has a lot to offer.
Well, I think I've smoothed things over. There's nothing they can criticize me for. I did what they asked.
Don't let them take advantage. Don't think they'll tamper with me again.
Well, I feel pretty secure about the whole thing.
What a lousy day.
Very interesting problem. Very interesting day.
Why is it that objective problems so easily become people problems? What could any of us have done differently?